Wondered why some brands seem unforgettable while others, no matter how flashy, just disappear into the noise? In a world where everyone is fighting for attention, where trends comes and go at lightning speed, staying visible and more importantly memorable is the real game. It's not about who posts the most, spends the most on ads, or shouts the loudest. It's about the brands that tap into something deeper. Today, I'm breaking down the three critical pillars that separate the brands that actually sticks, the ones that build trust, loyalty, and emotional connections, from the ones that get lost in the scroll. These aren't hacks. They are timeless foundations that work whether you are a solo creator, a startup, or a growing business. So if you're tired of creating content, products, or offers that get attention but don't get results, stick around. By the end of this video, you will have a clear, actionable roadmap to build a brand that not only earns attention but keeps it and grows real connection with your audience. Let's dive in. Chapter 1: Clarity: Why Confused Brands Never Win. The first pillar of a brand that sticks is clarity, and it's where most brands quietly lose before they even begin. Here's the truth: if people can't quickly understand who you are, what you do, and why it matters to them, they're gone. Confusion is the fastest way to lose attention, trust, and any chance of connection. And yet, so many brands try to be everything to everyone. They pile on features, offer too many products, or speak in vague, complicated language that sounds impressive but doesn't connect. Let's make it simple. Clear beats clever. Every single time. When someone lands on your page, your profile, your YouTube channel, can they instantly answer these three questions? Who is this for? What problem does it solve? Why should I care? If the answer isn't obvious, you've lost the game before it starts. Think about some of the most successful brands you know: Apple, Nike, Headspace, Glossier. They don't try to explain everything all at once. Apple doesn't say, "We sell computers, tablets, phones, software, accessories, and entertainment systems." They say, "Think different." Nike doesn't list product specs in their headline. They say, "Just do it." It's clear, focused, and emotionally resonant. This is where niche power comes in. When you focus on solving one clear problem for one specific person, you make your message stickier. You create recognition and relevance. And once people recognize themselves in your message, they're more likely to stay, engage, and eventually buy. So, your first big takeaway is this: don't complicate your brand with fancy words or too many directions. Focus on clarity. Define who you serve, how you help, and what makes your solution meaningful. Because in the attention economy, if you confuse, you lose. But if you're clear, you win attention, trust, and connection every time. Up next, we'll break down the second pillar, the emotional glue that makes your audience care enough to stick around. Chapter 2: Connection: Why Emotion Beats Information. The second pillar of building a brand that actually sticks is connection, because facts tell, but feelings sell. In the digital world we live in, your audience is bombarded with content. More posts, more ads, more offers than they can ever process. What cuts through the noise isn't more data or louder messaging. It's emotion. It's how you make people feel. Here's a truth that most creators and brands overlook: people don't buy products, they buy feelings. They buy the sense of hope, belonging, confidence, status, relief, or identity that comes with the product or service. Think about the brands you love. Why do you keep going back to them? It's not just because of what they sell, it's because of how they make you feel. Apple makes you feel innovative and creative. Nike makes you feel powerful and driven. Duolingo makes learning feel fun and rewarding. Connection happens when your brand speaks to the emotional needs of your audience, not just the practical ones. So, how do you build this emotional connection? Know your audience's real pain points. Go beyond surface level problems like I want more clients or I want to lose weight. Ask yourself, what's the frustration behind that? Is it the feeling of not being seen, not feeling confident, feeling stuck? When you speak to the heart of the problem, people feel understood. And that's where trust begins. Use storytelling, not just selling. Stories are how humans make sense of the world. Share your journey. Share customer success stories. Talk about failures, lessons, and turning points. When you tell a relatable story, your audience sees themselves in it, and that creates instant connection. Be human, be honest, be real. In a world full of polished, perfect brands, the one that shows vulnerability, authenticity, and personality stands out. Don't be afraid to show the messy middle, the behind the scenes, the process, not just the highlight reel. The key insight here is this: the brands that connect are the brands that care. When your audience feels seen, heard, and understood, they trust you. And trust is the foundation for loyalty and long term success. So, while clarity gets their attention, connection keeps them engaged. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the third and final pillar, the glue that turns connection into commitment and builds brands that stand the test of time. Stay with me. Chapter 3: Consistency, the secret source of brand trust. The third pillar of building a brand that actually sticks is consistency. Because trust isn't built in a moment, it's built over time. Here's where most creators and businesses struggle. They show up strong for a few weeks, post sporadically when they feel inspired, or change their message and aesthetic every other month. But the truth is, even the best clarity and emotional connection will crumble without consistent presence. Why? Because in the mind of your audience, inconsistency equals unreliability. Think about the brands you trust the most, whether it's your favorite coffee shop, a YouTube creator you always learn from, or a podcast you listen to regularly. Their power isn't just in their content, it's in the fact that they show up again and again, reliably delivering what you expect from them. Consistency isn't just about frequency, it's about alignment. It means your tone, visuals, values, and message stay steady across every platform, every piece of content, and every interaction. Whether someone finds you on Instagram, your website, or your email list, they should feel like they're experiencing the same voice, the same energy, the same promise. One of the simplest examples of this is Coca-Cola. For decades, they've stayed consistent with their brand message of happiness, sharing, and celebration, no matter how marketing trends change. The colors, the fonts, the tone, and the emotion they evoke remain familiar. This isn't accidental, it's strategic. For creators and entrepreneurs like you, consistency also means having a content system, whether that's posting weekly videos, showing up daily on stories, or sharing monthly newsletters. It's not about overwhelming yourself, it's about creating a reliable rhythm that your audience can count on. It also means being consistent with your values and offers. Don't flip flop on your message or jump on every new trend. Instead, stay anchored in what your brand stands for. This builds trust because your audience knows what to expect from you, and expectations create safety. The key insight here is repetition builds reputation. The more consistent your brand experience, the more familiar and trustworthy you become. And in a crowded market, trust is your competitive edge. So, to wrap this up, clarity grabs attention, connection builds emotion, and consistency earns trust. Together, these three pillars are how you create a brand that doesn't just get noticed, but actually sticks. Let's pull this all together in the conclusion. Chapter 4: Bringing it all together, your brand blueprint. So, we've talked about the three pillars of building a brand that actually sticks: clarity, connection, and consistency. But how do you put these into action in the real world, especially if you're just one person
building your brand or side hustle. Here's the simple blueprint. Start with your one core promise: clarity. What is the one clear result or transformation your brand helps people achieve? Whether you're teaching people how to build better habits, offering design services, or selling products, your brand needs to answer this question quickly and simply. Nail your message before you nail your marketing. Create content that connects emotionally. Connection. Stop focusing only on the features of what you offer. Instead, tell stories. Share your journey. Show your audience that you understand their struggles and desires. Whether it's through Instagram posts, YouTube videos, or your email newsletter, your content should always reflect empathy. Show people that you see them. Build a simple consistency plan. Consistency. Pick one or two key platforms where your audience spends time and commit to showing up regularly. You don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be where your people are and stay present. Create templates, plan your posts, and automate where you can, but never sacrifice the human touch. Consistency is about being reliable, not robotic. Audit your brand touchpoints. Look at your social profiles, website, content, and offers. Are they aligned with your core promise? Do they reflect the emotion you want your audience to feel? Is the experience consistent across platforms? This audit helps you spot where your brand might feel confusing or disconnected and gives you the chance to clean it up. Focus on long term trust, not short term hacks. Remember, the brands that stick aren't the ones that chase trends. They're the ones that build trust, show up consistently, and stay clear on who they are. Virality might win attention, but clarity, connection, and consistency win loyalty. The bottom line: a sticky brand isn't built on flashy graphics, viral moments, or marketing gimmicks. It's built on showing up with purpose, speaking directly to the hearts of your audience, and doing it again and again until your brand becomes a part of their lives. Next, let's wrap it all up with the final call to action and reflection.
So here's the big takeaway. Brands that stick aren't the loudest. They are the clearest, the most connected, and the most consistent. Whether you're building a business, a personal brand, or a creative project, these three pillars, clarity, connection, and consistency, are what transform attention into loyalty and loyalty into growth. The question I want to leave with you is simple but powerful. What's one pillar you need to focus on more in your brand right now? Is it clarifying your message, deepening your emotional connection with your audience, or showing up more consistently where your people are? Drop your answer in the comments below. I'd love to hear where you are at in your journey. If this video gave you value, hit the like button so more creators and entrepreneurs can find this content. And if you're serious about building a brand that lasts, make sure you subscribe and join this community for more deep dives like this into strategy, branding, and business growth. Don't forget to download my free ebook and journal in the description. It's packed with prompts and actionable steps to help you apply these brand building principles in your own work. Remember, the best brands aren't the ones that say the most. They are the ones that say the right thing to the right people consistently. Let's keep building smarter, and I will see you in the next one.